Okay, so thinking and feeling. Maybe
Yeah.
let's just chat about that for a bit.
Okay, thinking and feeling. What that works in relationship to is the veil of fear. And I've got to talk about thoughts and sensations first,
Yep.
because they're the point where a signal is received by the brain. It's identified, whether it's visual, smell, taste, whatever. We perceive the signal as it is, no interpretation. As soon as we go through to the next stage of thinking and feeling, we're in the part of the brain that has a whole collection of memories. And as a new signal comes in, it goes sorting through all those memories, like a whole stack of files, looking for something similar. And it tries to match the current experience, the new one, with past experience. So it can use it as a means of identification. What is this? So it's looking for something similar. When it finds something similar, it then pulls out that file of memory and starts identifying the current experience with the past experience. And if we've had more than one experience similar to this, it compares it to all the memories,
Mm.
and if it's a pleasant experience, it's good because it just builds on this sense of pleasure. If it's an unpleasant experience, whoever's triggered this for us or whatever's triggered us, we start taking out on them, not just the current experience, but all the past interpretations.
Mm.
Now, one of the things that comes up as a problem with this is when it gets applied to trauma. We have the original trauma, but anything that reminds us of the original trauma, which can be a similar experience, it can be a taste, a smell, a sound, anything that reminds us of the original trauma becomes part of that trauma itself.
Like, for example, if you've like had an ex-boyfriend or something like that that drives a red car or a green
Yep,
car or something like this, and then every time that you see a red or green car or whatever it is, it reminds you of him, and then so
yep,
everything, all of those feelings come back up again.
totally. Or when you're trying to get over somebody and, oh, they'd usually be here at this moment.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're aware that their presence might have been important to you at that moment. And we start looking, at what we got from them, or we'll see when they annoyed us. It can go any way, just depending what the memory is.
Mhm.
And it's interesting how the brain essentially does it. If it gets a totally new experience, it'll actually sit it there, and you've almost got to sit with it as it starts. What is this? What's this about? Um, Most people, when they get new experience, fear kicks in. And when fear kicks in, it puts that veil of fear there, which stops us reaching through to the thoughts, which is the receipt of the original signal, stops us accessing the void and the inner knowing. Fear puts a veil between the signal received by the thinking, feeling part of the brain and everything else. And this is the issue with fear.
Mm.
Fear blocks input from that extended or deeper aspects of our consciousness.
Mm.
And fear can get triggered by the unknown. So when we get a new experience, if it's not recognized, we usually switch into unknown mode. Anything that's unknown can be a perceived threat because we're in flight or flight mode. We're that scanning to see, is this a woolly mammoth or a saber-toothed tiger? Because we have to know what's around us. Otherwise, it could be a potential threat. We don't want our arms and legs ripped off. So our, threat mode is out there keeping us safe.